Sponsored by Black Magic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. blackmagicdesign.com.
My Dead Friend Zoe. So this was also called a dark comedy slash drama. I don't know if I'd call it a dark comedy. I don't know. I would call it a drama, and then there were funny parts, but I didn't write it. But it was written by Kyle Hausman Stokes and also directed by him, AJ Bermudez, and Cherish Chen. Um, so U.S. Army veteran Merritt, played by Sonequa Martin Green, is grieving the loss of her friend Zoe, and played by Natalie Morales. And it's during her military discharge from Afghanistan is where we're watching the movie. But in Merritt's mind, Zoe hasn't left her side. So that's like her imaginary friend. She knows she's not real, but she is with her. Um, she's court so Merritt is court ordered to attend group therapy, and she's very resistant to it. She goes, but she doesn't participate. She doesn't talk. And the group therapy is led by Dr. Cole, who's played by Morgan Freeman. And at the same time that this is happening, her grandfather, who's played by Ed Harris, Dale, he's a Vietnam vet, and he's the reason she joined the army, is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so she's struggling with the grief of losing her friend. I mean, that's the main thing, but there's also that grief of kind of losing her grandfather, losing that strength in her life. And the film highlights everyday struggles of veterans, and also keeping too much in and can really hurt you, obviously, and not expressing your emotions to heal. And it's really about healing yourself. Um, this one, again, crying throughout the movie. Sorry. But I will say, there were other people crying. Also, in Out of My Mind, by the way, men, women, everyone was crying during that movie as well, just to let you know. Sonequa is magnetic. I honestly didn't know who she was before this, and I know she's kind of big time, I think. You can like I could not take my eyes off of her. She's so good. Her emotions. Natalie Morales, I mean, her as Zoe, she's snarky, she's feisty, but she's also like wounded. You can tell. It's really great. And a very cool thing about this movie was it was produced by this company called Legion M, and it's the world's first, you've obviously heard of it, fan-owned entertainment company. One of the co-founders and CEO was there, Paul Scanlon, and he told us that Kyle Hausman Stokes filmed like loved to film when he was on duty. And during so his sergeant, I believe, pulled Kyle from a stop loss, which I had to look up what that was, and I do have to read this one. It's a Department of Defense program that allows the military to keep service members on active duty past their contractually agreed upon separation date. He pulled him from that to go to film school. He said, "You have to go to film school," and so he did. Also, the main characters are female, and they were inspired by real people, in Kyle's life. And he really did that, which makes sense, to distance himself from the story. But again, I thought it was really great, really, really great. And I'm not an opponent of the military. But I'm not like I don't know a lot about it. And I think no matter really what your feelings are maybe on it, I think it'll touch you. If you see this movie, it was really good.
Okay, so there's two things that are really interesting. So I don't know if people caught all of our. We did a lot of coverage of Tribeca this year. We did a lot of
Hmm.
episodes about Tribeca. We actually interviewed Kyle Hausman Stokes
Oh, cool.
because he
Okay.
was the one of the creators of a series called Shanki, which was part of their new television program at Tribeca. So we actually sat down with him and his partner, Sean Quinn, on that project. Got a great interview with them. You can check it out. It's on the Tribeca playlist on
Awesome.
YouTube. And then I also, years ago at Comic-Con back in 2019, in the before times, interviewed Jeff Anison, who is the co-founder of Legion M. So
Okay.
we have an interview with him as well, and he talks about the genesis of Legion M and like what they did. It's a great company. They've been working with a lot of great artists and stuff. It's really interesting and inspiring, kind of what they've been doing. I don't know how well they're doing now, and they did like a bunch of they did I think they did Jay and Silent Bob reboot with Kevin Smith, who we also just had on the show. And then they also did movies with like Anne Hathaway, and they've done some really good projects, and they're definitely worth checking out.
This is the BTRP Media Network.